Yeah, baby, yeah. Oh, you? You know where you are. You're on the incredibly talented, visionary, um, skeptical Clark the Shark show, where I'm going to talk about just this amazing greatest hits album that I really like. Um, who knows? Maybe I will review every Patsy Cline album because they're all incredible. This lady doesn't have a bad song. Now, I know, she doesn't write the songs, or I don't even care about that, you guys. It's kind of like Tammy Terrell and with Marvin Gaye, uh, Hitsville, USA, Motown. I don't always care if people write the songs, but it's what they do with communicating the artistic song idea. Here's the cover that I've never really seen. This might be the UK, I don't know, or now the weird thing about Patsy Cline is she didn't live very long, you guys. She died in a plane crash. Yeah, man, she's kind of like a Buddy Holly or something. Planes, they're very dangerous, you guys. If you've ever been on a plane and there's turbulence and all that, oh God, you're absolutely helpless and hopeless up there. Just the Lord Jesus is, protecting you and keeping you afloat up there in space. That's it, or your prayers, or if you're an atheist, or, it's like roll the bones. Why are we here? Because we're here, you guys. I don't know why. I mean, I'd like to think there's a God and a Jesus and all that. And if there's a heaven, I know Patsy Cline is there, you guys. Now, she was a wild, wild, wild woman. She was a wild child from the day she was born till the day she died on that plane crash, you guys. She was already married twice and had 2 kids, way back in the day. And that's the cover that I know. I remember in 1992, the summer, I was listening to 3 albums mainly in Playa del Rey on Tuscany Avenue or Tuscany Street in a condominium that my brother Paul was somehow living in. I don't know if he was renting it or what, but I was 27 out in Playa del Rey, California. And I somehow was in this condo, and he had CDs. Yeah, they really had CDs way back then, 1992. And I was listening to Rolling Stones' Exile on Main Street. The song rocks off a lot. And the Clash, Give 'Em Enough Rope. For some reason, I was playing that. And Patsy Cline, this album, what a weird mix. And other stuff too. I was probably listening to Rush and Triumph and The Who and, the Bee Gees and the Beach Boys, or God only knows, you guys, no pun. But, I was listening to The Germs with all that, you guys. Go figure, the pizza cornucopia brain of Clark the Shark right here at 1-800-449-8255 on the most amazing talk radio show in America today. Forget the others who review albums, you guys. They're just pretenders, or they're out to get views, or, they buy fake views, or they buy fake subscribers, or fake comments, or they're all about being fake. But me, Clark the Shark, I will never buy fake views. Never again, anyway, for I have been banned long ago, in 2012, 2013, 2011, before other people were banned. I was just banned for, I don't know why, but they said I was putting casinos or gaming on my YouTube. Like that really matters. Like anyone's really going to click anyway. But, or they used other dumb reasons, you know, the old standbys, copyright infringement or strike warnings for, I don't know, dude. YouTube was so screwed up long ago. But from what I hear today, you know, there's just certain things you got to be careful, or the liberal people will ban and delete all your videos and all your funny, ironic poetry videos and anything you do. Liberals don't care. They are AI robots. They don't have any art, passion. They don't even know what art or passion is. They have nothing, dude. I don't care if they can have sex, or I don't even fucking care if they can have orgasms, or if they can memorize all their college degree shit at night, or practice their instruments and get really good at playing fast with a metronome, or, you know, just all the shit liberals do to try to impress us conservatives. And they really don't impress us at all. And some conservatives are just like liberals, you guys. You know, the atheist libertarian wing of conservatism. I'm not always wild about those people, just like I'm not always wild about liberal socialist people, because they're all the same robots to me. Even some Christians are, you know, you gotta have a particular kind of life where you really suffered. You had a shitty childhood. Your family hates you. Your dad ignored you. You have to have all these things that Clark the Shark looks for in a human being. And if you don't got them, baby, you know, if you're tall and or good looking, you are disqualified right there. And you are excused from the Clark the Shark show. This show isn't for you. My show is for fucking losers or quitters or people that bitch and whine and vent a lot. But there's no blocking here, no banning, no deleting, baby. I hear everyone out on my show, and I will never, ever get rid of you, even if you are a liberal or a Republican, conservative, or Christian. No matter what you are, baby, Clark the Shark accepts you. And God is like, gosh, Shark, you're so open-minded. Don't you realize you're a sucker and no one's going to ever care? And I'm like, you know what, baby? I'm on the Clark the Shark show. And the only one that can stop me here is YouTube when they ban and delete you. But, you know, if they do that, I don't even care now, because I'm not talking about fucking douchebags at YouTube who ban and delete people all because the people don't agree with liberalism. Or, you know, some conservative Republicans will ban and delete you because you don't completely agree with Tucker Carlson and Hannity and the legacy of Hush Bimbo, the almighty Swami, who could beat anyone with one half of his brain behind his back or some shit like that. I don't care here on the Clark the Shark show, because I'm not fucking talking about any of that, baby. I'm talking about Patsy Cline, Greatest Hits, an album that I listened to over and over in 1992. Now, admittedly, I'm not the biggest country head here. I mean, Hank Williams and Patsy Cline and Johnny Cash and a few others, you know, Tammy Wynette. That's about it, you guys. That's as far as Shark goes into country. You know, there are exceptions. You know, I like something like Gordon Lightfoot. That really isn't country, but, or like Harry Nilsson. Those aren't really country, although Joy by Nilsson is about as country as you can fucking get. But Yeah, man. My dad, Gary B. Higgins, really loved country. He really loved stuff like Roy Orbison, and he really loved Patsy Cline. And I'll never forget one day I was listening to some Patsy Cline when I was about 8 years old, 1973 in Redondo Beach, Torrance at 251 Paseo de Gracia. And my dad was listening to Patsy Cline and I was listening in. And I was like, said something like, she sure has a lovely voice, Dad. And, he always had to make a smart aleck comeback or backhanded compliment or just say something mean and rude like, what do you know? Or what does your opinion matter? Yeah, you don't matter. I was taught from the time I was 5 that I don't matter, just about by everybody, you guys. And I think people in Redondo and Torrance know that. And now they try to say, well, everyone treated me like shit too, Clark the Shark. It wasn't just you. You don't hold the monopoly in the South Bay of being treated like shit, and everyone emails me or something, and they're like, you think you got it so bad, you got to man up and grow up and I don't know, you guys. 1-800-449-8255. I'm 60 years old. For years, I was a pool cleaner, owning 3 condos or 3 houses or whatever, making ends meet, paying all the bills. And then I got a little older, and then the Democrats legalized illegals driving. And then I instantly lost my job, like many other white and black people and Hispanic people too in California, when Jerry Brown and Gavin Newsom did that to us. That's right, black people. You keep voting Democrat, and they just gave non-citizens the right to drive cars in California in 2015, and that's what made us so crowded. The rent went sky high. There's nowhere to park. At 6 o'clock at night, everywhere's crowded. Every parking lot, every boulevard, red lights, green lights. People are backed up forever. It's an absolute zoo now, California. And now the jobs have been devalued by people who will get up at 5 a.m. and work better than you. So your job is gone. Not just white and black people, but Hispanic people. Yeah, you guys vote Democrat. Your job is gone too. That's right. And now your apartment rent is $3,000 a month, and you have to live with 8 people just to make ends meet right here on the Clark the Shark Show. Oh, and if you don't like it, Hispanic or black person, they call you a Trump racist, all because it's crowded. Everywhere is crowded. You can't even, it takes you an hour to drive to 7-Eleven that used to take you 3 minutes. Oh, and then at night at 10 p.m. when the streets aren't so crowded, then you have people driving 120 miles an hour everywhere. See what the Democrats did to you, Hispanic and black people, and you white liberal people too. And some of you even end up dead in car wrecks caused by speeding, reckless driving, and or DUIs, brought to you by your friends from Not in America and the Democrat Party. Also, they will vote Democrat. Isn't that fucking good? And by the way, the Republicans are like, wink, wink. We like non-citizens driving too, Clark the Shark, because we like the cheap labor. What do you think of that, Shark? You're just a fucking racist. I'm like, okay, well, when one of your relatives gets killed in a car wreck, speeding, reckless driving, DUI, caused by some guy from El Salvador, don't come crying to Clark the Shark, Sean Hannity, and Tucker, and Trump, all because you so-called Republican conservatives like cheap labor as the Democrats love the cheap vote. You can call me racist, prejudiced, fuck, I don't care. All I know is Patsy Cline would be sitting here going, right on, Sharky. You know, Shark, when I died, it was just an innocent plane crash back in the day, just like Buddy Holly. Patsy would be like, yeah, I didn't die from overcrowding or high rent or because the traffic was backed up forever and there was nowhere to park at night. She died in a better vanished time long ago, you guys, right here on the Clark the Shark Show at 1-800-449-8255 from the fabulous, amazing microcosm that is the golden EIB Sharkerphone. It's not a microphone, baby, and it's not broadcasting. It's sharkcasting, because when I'm talking about Patsy Cline and her greatest hits, and I admit she didn't write them. I don't care, you guys. Diana Ross didn't write shit, you know. Tammy Terrell didn't. Often Barbara Streisand didn't, you know. I care about the voice. Sometimes when it's really good, you know, I appreciate it, you know. And this type of singing, you know, I'm not a super country type of person. But I grew up on country, believe it or not, because my dad, Gary B. Hagen's, out in the living room with all the pictures at 251 Paseo de Gracia, Redondo Beach. I don't know why they called us Redondo Beach. On Paseo de Gracia, near Pacific Coast Highway, you know, right near McCormick's Mortuary. Just across PCH, I guess, is Torrance. But for some reason, 90277, I would sit in that house in the den drawing a picture as my dad would be in the living room listening to like Patsy Cline. And I would hear this great music, or Hank Williams, and I really appreciated it, you guys. And in some weird way, listening to stuff like this got me into listening to like The Who, you know, and the Beatles, because it was quality. I appreciated something about the quality, and also this yearning voice or something, this passionate, like she meant it, like she meant every word. I don't think she did, you guys. She was just whatever they gave her, you know. The country thing in Nashville or wherever they were, it was like their version of Hitsville, USA, you know, and Berry Gordy and Motown. And, you know, I don't know if Patsy Cline really felt or meant these songs, but it was like she did. And I was hanging on every word, you guys. Now, you could only give this 5, you guys, of course. I mean, there's no other grade. And, of course, side 1, Walking After Midnight. Oh, my God. You talk about amazing. Don Hecht and Alan Block. What a song. Oh, gosh. I grew up just being a child listening to Walking After Midnight a lot, and Sweet Dreams of You. Don Gibson. Awesome. I don't really like Willie Nelson, you guys. Any song by him, I hate Willie Nelson as a human being. The guy's a liberal. I don't like him. Or maybe he's not a liberal. He's like a libertarian atheist or something, a marijuana fucking guy. I don't like him. But I love the song Crazy that he wrote, and Patsy Cline turned into just a fucking classic, you guys. And I Fall to Pieces. Hank Cochran, Harlan Howard. Oh, my Lord, you guys. Incredible. Side 1 is unbelievable. So Wrong, of course. Carl Perkins. Strange. Awesome. Fred Birch, Mel Tillis. Side 1 of this is just so incredible that I had to listen to this over and over back in the summer of 1992. In Playa del Rey at that condo, my brother Paul was like in a fight with his wife at the time, and he was in and out of, he was breaking up with her. It was really sad, you guys. And he would hang out some nights over in Playa del Rey and then Some nights he wasn't there, but I was alone often, me, Clark the Shark. And I wasn't alone because I had Patsy with me. I had this album, you guys. In some way, I thought side 2 gets even better. Back in Baby's Arms. Awesome, Bob Montgomery. She's Got You might be my favorite song on the whole album, you guys. Cochran. What a song! She's got these little things like pictures. She's got his ring or something. But She's Got You, that other girl. Oh, what a broken-hearted. Awesome. You could feel it, you guys. You could. In Faded Love, Bob Willis, John Wills, or Wills. Awesome. And then these songs like Why Can't He Be You, Cochran, they just go perfect with her. She's not really comes off as a riot girl, like Streisand or, Laura Nyro. Nothing like that. But I don't feel sorry for her like she's lonely and isolated. She's got a man all the time, and she's a wild woman partying and drinking and hell raising. She feels sorry for me, you guys. Patsy Cline is somewhere just partying, and there might be a little small moment where she's sad and lonely and some guy broke her heart, but I don't really get that off the life of Patsy Cline. Off her songs, though, it's confusing. I kind of get this lonely, isolated thing, but not really. She's also the center of the party or something. It's weird. And You're Stronger Than Me, Cochran, Jimmy Key. Awesome. And there's one of those songs, you guys, Leaving on Your Mind, Wayne Walker, Webb Pierce. I love these country guys. This is definitely like their version, you guys, of Hitsville, USA with Berry Gordy, and Marvin Gaye and, all those, who's that guy that just died recently? Decca Records. Wow. Owen Bradley, the producer. They call it traditional pop. I don't. This is country, you guys, but it's almost like rock or something. Like, it's so legit. It's like right there with I don't know, like it could be like the Rolling Stones or something to me. Clark the Shark, it's definitely country though, you guys, whatever it is. And it's atmospheric. It's so sad. It's so brokenhearted. And yet this woman is so strong, and she's like tough, like Yoko Ono or something. Like she's really firm. Like she don't feel sad or don't feel sorry for her, but still do anyway, kind of. She'll tell you what to do about her. If you want to feel sad for her, go ahead, but you got to wait for Patsy to tell you it's okay. And if you want to feel happy and joyous, and she's the life of the party, that's okay too. Yeah, all these great people, you guys. I don't love country. I'm not wild, especially today's country, you guys. I hate it. And I don't like what happens to it. Some people are in country like Taylor Swift, and then they go pop or something. I don't like that, you guys. I mean, how can you be country and then what, you're fucking Britney Spears? I mean, I don't get that. That just seems insincere. And the whole country vibe to me seems like insincere music, for insincere people or something like that. But in the 60s and 70s and 50s, way back in the day with Patsy Cline, no way. Even though she didn't write these songs or these lyrics, it's like she meant every word of them. And, Tammy Wynette and a bunch of them, you guys, they put their heart and soul into this, and it's just incredible. You got to love it. You got to check it out. If you're a young person right now in 2023 and you're just 20, you were born in 2003, and you listen to bullshit music like Modest Mouse or The Killers or the Foo Fighters, I want you to put that fucking weak shit in your toilet and first smash it with a hammer and then put it in your toilet. No, don't do that, dude. Don't flush the Foo Fighter. It might clog your drain, and I don't want to get blamed, you guys. But just take Justin Bieber, Foo Fighters, and Modest Mouse and The Killers out to your backyard with a blowtorch. First, I want you to pull down your pants and fucking take a shit on those CDs. And then I want you to burn them with a blowtorch and then bury them. And then put up a little tombstone that says, "This was the old me. I don't listen to this fucking weak shit anymore. Now I listen to Patsy Cline, all of her albums, not just the greatest hits, right here on the Clark the Shark Show, 1-800-449-8255. And I'm going to do this because Clark the Shark told me to listen to some Patsy Cline. And get into 60s country, you guys. Get into 50s, 60s, maybe 70s. The country gets kind of shitty in the 80s, you know, Garth Brooks and all that fucking crap. 90s. There's a cutoff where you don't listen to country or any music. I would say 1989. Anything beyond 1989, like 1990 moving forward, don't ever listen to any of that music. You know 1989 is a fucking shitty year if Taylor Swift was born in 89. So matter of fact, dude, don't fucking listen to anything recorded in 1989 just because Taylor Swift was born that fucking year. Don't even listen to my music if it's from 1989, you guys. Nothing. The cutoff is 1988. That's it, right here on the Clark the Shark Show. But definitely, I want you to listen to some Patsy Cline forever, especially if you're a young person born in the 2000s. You especially, if you were born in 2004, 3 years after 9/11, 3 years after those terrorists crashed jets into the World Trade Center, both buildings, the Twin Towers, and took them down to the ground. If you were born in 2004 and you are 19 years old today, in 2023, I want you to get into Patsy Cline. Every song, every album, and I want you to say, fucking A, Clark the Shark told me to get into this shit. And I want you to think of my dad, Gary B. Higgins, teacher at Palos Verdes High School, because he loved Patsy Cline. Hank Williams, he loved all that shit, you guys. He'd listen to it out there in the living room. Me and my dad weren't the closest, or dude, I get the feeling like he didn't even want me or want me born or something. He was just really disappointed from the beginning. I don't care. I still love him. He was a great guy who wrote books about the church, you know, the Catholic faith, and he knew everything about the world. He knew so much. He was a teacher, you guys, at Palos Verdes High. He was a genius, and he would sit at the desk and talk to himself as he would write his stuff, just like me. And another thing him and me had in common, we both had stacks of rejection letters. My dad would get rejected by every publisher. He would send his books everywhere and they would reject him. He had a stack of rejection letters. He proudly put them on the wall or something. And I had over 50, 100 record labels, everything, Capitol, EMI, Geffen, Sony, everything, dude. It didn't matter. Punk rock, indie labels, they all rejected Clark the Shark Higgins and the Greenhouse Effect. Just like the book publishers rejected my dad, Gary B. Higgins. In the end, we are two rejects, but I know the Lord God above did not reject him, and he's in heaven, warts and all, imperfections, and me, Clark the Shark, I ain't fucking perfect either, you guys. I know I am no man compared to my father, Gary B. Higgins, who loved Patsy Cline. I'm a different kind of man, you guys. Different from him. There's things I can do that he can't do, and things he can do that I can't do. I'm in no competition. The fucking guy was a genius. He wrote books. Uh, and my brother Paul too, and the Jades and all that. I don't want like all of us to be forgotten. I like it that you guys listen to my music and all out there. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But remember, I wrote my songs. It may not sound like it, like you guys hear She's a Bitch or Brandy or It Ain't Easy. Those come in some weird, twisted way. They come from Patsy Cline, not from the Beatles. In some weird way, they come from Hank Williams and Patsy Cline. Roy Orbison, stuff my dad liked, because that's what he would listen to. He wouldn't listen to the Beatles. I tried to get him to. He's like, He liked Ticket to Ride and Help, if it was really good. He might like that, but... And I'm really sad about the way Patsy Cline left this world. She had 2 kids. She left 2 husbands, She got divorced. I think she got divorced twice already. She wasn't that old, She was a wild lady. This lady loved to party and loved to fight. Man, she fought with her men, you guys. And she's just a passionate lady. Hard drinking, hard fighting. She said she wasn't that hard of a drinker. But, I get the feeling looking at her, there was nothing easy about Patsy Cline. It was all complicated, and she was difficult. Like me, Clark the Shark, I'd be like, I love your music, honey, but I can't get along with you. She'd be like, who cares what you think? Right here on the Clark the Shark Show, and that's just the way I want this country, whatever, Western, whatever she is. Atmospheric musician, textured, clever. Didn't write her own songs, but I wonder if she ever picked up a pen and a guitar. She maybe could have, you guys, because just like Laura Nyro, there was probably this thing in her that she didn't even know she had, you guys, until someone says, hey, why don't you write your own songs, lady? I bet you Patsy Cline could have written her own material, you guys. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show, the Golden EIB Sharkerphone. It's not a microphone, it's a sharkerphone from the Wolfman Jack on crack. Shark-a-doodle-doo. I'm about to say sharkaloo to you, sharkalama ding dong, and just say goodbye for the night, but make sure you buy some Patsy Cline. I remember, this gives me a good memory listening to this stuff, and just feeling the sadness or whatever it is, like the broken-hearted misery, like sullen, morbid thing, and yet it's joyous, you guys, and melodic. I love it, and I want you guys to buy it at Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, everywhere, especially if you're only 19 or 18 years old and you are young. Get into Patsy Cline. Get rid of the Taylor Swift. Fucking get rid of that shit and listen to Patsy Cline. And here's some good music, you guys. And I'm out of here. Peace.